Welcome back to another episode in the NFL Rejects franchise. The franchise where we're only allowed to build a team at a regular season free agents age 30 or older. We're not allowed to trade and we're not allowed to draft, quite obviously. And right now, this is the only episode in the whole franchise series which begins at the menu screen. Alright? Because from now on, we will be in constant rebuild mode and nothing will stay the same. Just want to show you what the team looks like right now. And then we will be moving on and we will just be letting everybody go. And then we will be rebuilding the team from scratch. This off-season episode a little different compared to other franchise series. But yeah, there we go. One thing that I do want to check out here is if there's anybody in here from the Shamrocks. I would actually expect someone to be in here. Well, okay, it's a coach. That's me. Yay, go me. Apart from that, it's only the MVPs. I personally would like to have seen a player in here, but we don't get to see that. What about this here? Let's see. Offensive Player of the Year. Well, nobody. Defensive Player of the Year. Well, nobody. What's this? Offensive Rookie. Well, that is not our category. Best Quarterback. Derek Carr in 8th spot. All right, I like that. We're going to take it. Best running back, Alvin Kamara for the Shamrocks at 9th spot. We're going to take it. Wide receivers, none. Offensive line, well, there's a lot of dudes in there. Isaac Seumalo, Kevin Zeitler, Joe Noteboom, Trey Turner, AJ Cann. Defensive linemen, nobody. Linebackers, nobody. Defensive backs, nobody. Best kickers, Jake Elliott. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. And then we're back to the offensive players. So those were the awards. How does this work? We're going to let everybody go. Then we're going to move ahead into the beginning of preseason because that's where the magic happens. And from then on, we are going to be rebuilding this team from the bottom up. So let's get going, guys. I really, really can't wait to see who's going to be available. An essential part, of course, of this franchise is this part here, the retirements. That's just a big, big part. And you can see that we have lost a few players to retirement. We're down to 47. So let's just take a quick look here. Who returns? Who retires as a Super Bowl champion? It is AJ Cann, Byron Jones, Marcus Peters, Demario Davis, Shaquille Barrett, Fletcher Cox, George Fant, Kevin Zeitler, Adam Thielen, Zach Ertz, Kareem Hunt, Jacoby Brissett. Big names retiring here for the Shamrocks. It was a few starters that we have to say goodbye to here. A few especially good backup players like Demario Davis. That's actually pretty sad, to be honest. A few players that were kind of strange because George Fant, we picked him up, then he got injured. I put him on injured reserve. I could never reactivate him again, so that sucked a lot. Adam Thielen, Zach Ertz, Kareem Hunt, big names. Jacoby Brissett was our quarterback on the Bisons, so sad to see that, but it's just the way things work. Who else left without being a part of the Shamrocks? Tyrann Mathieu leaves. That is sad because I would have liked to have him on the team for once. Andy Norwell, Marcus Mariota, Rob Havenstein, David Andrews, Mitch Morse, Darius Lee, Xavier Howard, DeMarcus Lawrence. Those are really, really big names that are not available anymore. And down here are some players that were a part of the Shamrocks for a brief moment. Justin Britt, Hayden Hurst, Kirk Cousins, Kyle Fuller, and so on and so forth. Chandler Jones retiring, Matt Filer, Donovan Smith. Yeah, those dudes were part of our team as the Bisons, or this week briefly, and Stephon Gilmore retired immediately after the Super Bowl. All right, we already knew that. Apart from that, is there anything we need to check out or that we should check out? We got the season recap. We already took care of that, actually. We know this, of course. It's the Salt Lake City Shamrocks, first-time Super Bowl champion. Aaron Jones, Super Bowl MVP for sure. He just was absolutely amazing. And with that said and done, we will now be moving ahead to the Resign Players Week. So there we go. Basically, every player is up for negotiation. All right, every position is up for negotiation unless they're retired. And you can see that some of the players have had a very, very hard regression hit already, and this will only probably get worse as we move through the weeks here, because then the regression will really start to take take place and pick up speed. As you can see, a lot of these players really, I would say, past their prime now. So we really got the most out of them. Some are still looking quite decent, so that we could think about picking them up. But then again, there's quite a few in here that I reckon are just basically unusable at this point. And yeah, with that said, I will now be moving ahead past the free agency and then just straight to the beginning of preseason. Data available. Of course, free agents recap my signings. I didn't sign a single soul, obviously. That's not how this franchise works. Just wanted to show you this here. Plus, of course, a lot of players that would have been eligible for me have been signed by other teams, and especially those players that might even have been eligible for me. I am not too happy to see some of those big names go to other teams. Some of these, I mean, George Kittle would have been so fun to use, right? But I don't think that he'll be around for us to pick. So I will just now exit here before I start crying. We're now going to be moving to the draft, of course. We'll not be drafting, but just, you know, for good measurement, I'm going to be showing that as well. I'm just showing you the draft recap for the Shamrocks. No picks in all rounds. So there we go. I'm just going to be putting up the NFL picks for completion's sake, just to show you maybe the first 10 picks or something like that. I will be moving through this quite quickly here. Just take a look for your favorite dude, look for your favorite name, and apart from that, I will not be doing much more regarding the draft, of course. We didn't draft, so I don't really care too much about that. I always give all those picks away. And with that said, we will now be returning to the final step of this 2026 season, which is to advance the week and kick off preseason. Week 1 of preseason is always very exciting in this franchise series because two things happen. Number 1, we pick a new identity for this team. And part 2, we pick the players for this team. Both parts equally exciting, all right? But what I mean to do first is we're going to be taking a look at the free agents. We're just going to be dragging everybody and their mums into this team, all right? I just want to have everybody on board, and then we will take a look at which players we're going to keep, which players we're going to kick out, all right? Doing the first steps together with you. Immediately, Gardner Minshew is the highest rated quarterback here. I can also see Russell Wilson lurking down here, so we're going to be bringing him in. I don't care. You never know which quarterback is going to be surprising you. We've got Joshua Dobbs here. That is interesting. Who's the next one? Mike White, Jimmy Garoppolo, PJ Walker, Cooper Rush, Mitch Trubisky is an option, and we've got Derek Carr. And tell you what, we're going to bring back Derek Carr. He was actually so good. I really enjoyed that. Plus, you know, he's a Super Bowl winner, for crying out loud. So why not do that? All the other ones, I mean, we could look at Jimmy G. We could look at Teddy Bridgewater. We might need to bring in one of these anyways. So, but we're going to leave it at that for the moment. Next up, let's take a look at running backs. Who's the best running back? Aaron Jones. All right, nobody else available. So this time round, a little bit more muted. Aaron Jones joining the team here. And you can see that there is not a lot of selection at the moment. All right, things can always change as soon as we hit regular season. But for now, we're just going to be filling up the team here with these players. But Derrick Henry, now that is fun. All right, let's bring him in. King Henry joins whatever this team will be called. And right, again, the wrong button. And just like that, I will be filling up the team. Kyle Juszczyk, actually. Now, this is a cool addition on the fullback position. I'm really pretty happy at getting a good fullback here. All right, wide receiver type, Tyler Lockett. This is cool. All right, and first one to bring in here. Next, Michael Gallup, 30 and 79. Next one to join. Here we go. Next up, what do we do next? Let's see. Zay Jones is the next best thing here. We are starting to move in an interesting direction here. but I don't care. We're just going to be bringing these players in. Again, these are players that I otherwise would have never used in a bazillion years. But on this franchise, I just don't have any other choice. Kendrick Bourne returns, and right now, you see how quickly that goes. Now he's the lowest rated dude right there. Who else is there? 34-year-old DeAndre Hopkins. Welcome to the club, my man. Here we go. All right, interesting names joining us. What about the tight ends? Tyler Higbee. Hell yeah. Now that is awesome. I'm super stoked to have him on board as my tight end number 1. Just hope, fingers crossed, that he doesn't get broken in half on the first play. Darren Waller. All right, I'm going to be bringing Darren Waller here. And I will also be looking further down a little bit more. Mo Ali Cox, all right, I see you right there, my dude. But what about OJ Howard? He was so good, and I'd actually rather bring him back than you know, just go for a player that's just ever so slightly higher rated right there. Nah, we're gonna go for OJ Howard. He was so good. I really enjoyed him a lot, and I do hope that we have a good run with him again. All right, Garrett Ball is here. There we go. Kaboom, kabam. And with that said, I will now be stopping doing this live with you, and I will be just filling up the roster as I'm doing right now, just going through the players, adding them to the team as we move along, and I'm going to show you the team in a moment. Alright, so what I did was I filled up the roster here, and you're just going to have to take my word for it at this point in time. I just filled it up here with all the players that were available. You can see that there's a few pretty cool names in there that I'm really excited to have on our team right now. We will be going through this, of course, in more detail towards the end of preseason, when we really cut the team down to the players that we will be keeping around, cutting those that we won't be keeping around, and then maybe even getting some improvement players in there, because some of these are just absolutely horrible. Yeah, I'm not looking at you, Derek, because you were awesome last season. But for now, what are we going to do? We're going to relocate, of course. So that's the next step here. Let's relocate. We are going to go for a relocation. We're, of course, going to stay in Salt Lake City. That's our home. Come on, man. Why would we ever leave? But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the team branding. And just take a look through these. I'm going to be scrolling through these. We already were the Bisons for one season. Then we were the Desperados for one season. Then we were the Shamrocks, past tense. There are some teams that I really like in the from the colors and the visuals and all that. And then there's some teams that are just super strange. I don't know what the Lumberjacks are supposed to be. They're just a little bit fun with the checkered pattern on the back of the helmet there. I really like the Monarchs. They have a pretty clean look. The Mounties are a little strange here. The Orbits, nice with the O. That's just pretty cool. I was looking at the following teams, all right? I love the Snowhawks. I don't know why, but that just kind of works for me. I was looking at the Thunderbirds. That was the first one I was looking at. Then, of course, I was looking at the Voyagers. I mean, that just freaking made sense, right? Because my players are all Voyagers, just moving all over the place. I somehow like the Armadillos as well. I can't really put my finger on it why. I love the Aviators. Just such a cool color with the light blue and the white and the black. But then again, I'm just doing the Panthers franchise, and I have pretty similar colors on there, so I won't be going for this one here. The Bisons, we already had that. The Black Knights, a little bit boring. The Blues, I don't know, just meh. The Bulls, I also like this one for some weird reason. The Caps is interesting, even though the star is really weirdly misplaced on the helmet. Just put it back a little bit more like the Cowboys and you're fine. The Condors, I think this is a really cool looking team. Very special, very unique look. Then the Desperados, the Eagles, the Dragons, not the Eagles. Getting ahead of myself here. The Golden Eagles, and this is which I really think is something that we can't miss right now. Because frickin' Christ, guys, we beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, all right? We beat the Eagles, which makes us the Golden Eagles. I mean, there's no way around this, right? There's just no way around this. So we're going to be the Golden Eagles. And I really think that this fits. So we're going to be picking this, plus this time we're going to be picking Another one of those super cool stadiums. I picked the futuristic the last time around. I think I'm going to go with a basic hybrid. I love this one here. Finish renovations and kaboom. It is the Eagle's Nest. And now that is actually super cool, right? We're going to be checking out the uniform in a second, but now we will be fast forwarding through preseason straight to bye week, cutting down the team a little bit, and then going into the first week of regular season where we will be completing the shaping of our team. So arrived at week 1 of the next regular season, it's the 2026 season. What I will be doing off camera is I will be choosing a draft class. I will be just doing the prep so we can start straight into the game next episode. But for now, it's kid in a candy store moment, alright? Because this is the time where all the teams have cut their players. And there's some new juicy free agents available, always just in there, alright? I will be just taking a quick peek here. If there's anybody that I feel like we should grab them, we should snag them. If not, then so be it. But for instance, we get an interesting new running back that wasn't there before. It's Joe Mixon. So let's just bring him into the team immediately. We could always start, shift, and move around. I'd love to bring in David Montgomery, for instance. He's 29 right now, so close to being available for us. Apart from that, I don't see any new availabilities. I'm super happy with the fullback. Let's look at the wide receivers. And Curtis Samuel just popped up here. So well, we're going to be bringing him in. Let's go with you, my man. Plus, I saw Tyler Boyd down here. That's a big name, actually. This is pretty cool, having a new dude in here. Is there somebody down here hiding that I feel like would be a must pick for us? Michael Thomas, Odell Beckham Jr. It really pains me because they were really, really good. But 73 is just a little bit too low to use him as starters straight away. We might have to bring him back anyway, so let's just see how that works. Gerald frickin' Everett is here. Now that is a big boost. I'm very happy about this one. I think I even said I would like to have him on my team for once. There we go. Next is Molly Cox. All right, that works. Left tackle. Any new players here? No, Joseph, no, no. Any new players? Andres Pete, he was here before. Laken Tomlinson, that's a no. Bradley Boseman, Lucas Patrick, Coleman Shelton, Billy Price. Yeah, no, nobody new. What about right guard? I see no new names. What about right tackle? I see no new names, and that would have been positions that I would have really liked to see some new names pop up. Same for left edge. It's basically these two are the top-rated players. Who's this? Jacob Martin, Tyquan Lewis, Romeo Okwara. It's interesting dudes in here, but again, nobody where I'm like, dude, I have to bring him in. I'm not really feeling that. What about deep tackle? I already am pretty happy with the players that I do have, so no need to dive in here. Right edge, let's see. Ogbonia Okoronkwo. Alright, I'm going to bring him in. I don't know if I have a better player on the team. Maybe I'll just have to cut him straight away again. I don't know. Left outside linebacker. Nobody. Jadeveon Clowney down there. Mid linebackers. Anybody new? Nope. Right outside linebacker. Nope. A little bit underwhelming this season. I think we already got the best dudes on board anyways. Free safeties. That's a nope. Strong safety. Chuck Clark. I don't know. I'm going to bring him in. I don't actually know how good my other strong safeties are. The kickers, I'm very happy with what I have. Harrison Butker is not better than the dude I have. Kaimi Fairbairn, same thing. I think I have Matt Gay if I'm not completely misremembering everything, and he's really, really good. Punter, nah, don't think I'll do that either. So, 85 out of 53. We're going to have to start cutting now, and I will use this opportunity to just show you the look of the Salt Lake City Golden Eagles straight away. Quarterback, we've got these three: Gardner Minshew, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. On running back, I am actually looking at these dudes here, and you can see Joe Mixon immediately plops in there. I feel like we're going to keep Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry around. You never know when you're going to need him. Fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, yeah, you're in there, you're not leaving. Tyler Lockett, Michael Gallup, Curtis Samuel. I'm not sure about Curtis Samuel, to be brutally honest. Zay Jones, Alex Lazard. DeAndre Hopkins is actually my lowest rated player. That is freaking crazy, man. But I think out of sanity's sake, spectacular catch is 91 though. That is really, really good. And I tend to burn through wide receivers anyways very quickly. I think I'm going to give DeAndre Hopkins actually a shot before looking at Kendrick Bourne. 77. Well, we can always go back for him and snag him up out of free agency anyways. But that is certainly an area that I will have to look at. So we've got Darren Waller, Gerald Everett, and Tyler Higbee. The fastest of the bunch is OJ Howard, actually. But, you know, at 67, I'm not quite sure if it really makes sense. His catching is actually better than Darren Waller's. Catch in traffic, spectacular catch. It's actually not that bad, but I think I'd rather use OJ Howard. I trust him more, and that works. Left tackle, we've got Garrett Bolles and Andre Dillard. Left guard, Isaac Seumalo, Cody Whitehair, Brian Allen and Connor McGovern. Right guard, Shaq Mason and Brandon Scherf. Right tackle, Morgan Moses, Javed Elemenor. Pretty happy with this. On left edge, Alfonso Fatukasi and Emmanuel Ogba. Carl Lawson, Dietrich Wise, and Ogbonia Okoronkwo. Let me just check something out here. I feel like we should be using one of these dudes over on the left edge position. That is just the way to go here. And I feel like we have to say goodbye to Emmanuel Ogba because he does have a lower strength rating, although he's way faster compared to Folorunso Fatukasi. Alright, I'm going to cut Folorunso Fatukasi here. Gonna keep Emmanuel Ogba around. He was really good last time, and I will be using one of these dudes over on that side. Let's go with Ogbonia Okoronkwo. Why? No real reason. He is just the dude that I brought in lately now. So let's just moving over. You also got a glimpse of the uniforms. They're absolutely gorgeous. On D-tackle, Grover Stewart, Arik Armstead, Dalvin Tomlinson. It works for me. Left outside linebacker, Matt Juden, Arden Key, nice. Mid linebackers, Rashawn Evans, Zaire Franklin, Drew Tranquil, and Devondre Campbell. Right outside linebacker, Lorenzo Carter and Robert Spillane, nothing better available. Corners, Desmond King II, Rasul Douglas, Dante Jackson, Avonte Maddox, and Jonathan Jones. On free safety, Xavier Woods and Micah Hyde. On strong safety, Jordan Poyer, Chuck Clark, and Marcus May. All right, who do we keep here? Strength-wise, I think I'm still going to be sticking with Marcus May. Chuck Clark doesn't look bad, but I just feel like Marcus May is the more solid option. So let's say goodbye to you, Chuck. Thank you for joining. Matt Gay, 97-93, and Logan Cook over here. I still need to cut 2 players. Jesus Christ, I think I need to cut those wide receivers down a little bit more, which I actually am very hesitant to do because I really love them to be around. I don't want to cut down the running backs because that situation gets ugly real quick. But here I'm super hesitant to cut DeAndre Hopkins for some weird reason. But basically I should just be cutting the bottom 2 players and be done with it. I'm just checking out the speeds. So Alan Lazard is actually looking not too shabby. Of course, Zay Jones. I'm going to be cutting Kendrick Bourne just for the time being. You know, who knows? We might bring him back at a later date anyways, but maybe not. Curtis Samuel looks like an absolute speed machine. His strength is pretty low, actually. Awareness is decent. Catching is not horrible. Catching traffic. Dudes. Alright, I'm going to cut DeAndre Hopkins. It's no use. He's just the worst of all. And I might bring him back if we feel like it. But for now, this is the team that we're going to be rocking with. What am I going to be doing? Well, first of all, I'm going to be choosing a draft class. I will be setting the season goal. That is quite clear, to be honest. Opening day keys, we're going to do the press conference, then weekly strategy, of course, upgrade players, upgrade staff. And then, of course, clear out the practice squad, give away all our draft picks. And then that is that, guys. Then we are going to be ready. We're going to be doing all that off camera. So the next episode will start with the opening scene in the Eagles' nest as the Salt Lake City Golden Eagles will be facing the Houston Texans. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the reshaping of our team, the NFL Rejects. Get a new face, get a new logo and new team colors. And with that said, guys, I'm going to be ending it. Gotta say thank you so much for being here. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do drop a like. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks so much for being here and making this special for me. Can't appreciate you enough. And yeah, stay special, guys. See you next time.